Good morning. Good morning. Let me do a little bit of getting everything talking to each other. So let me know when you're here and I will, let's see, hold on. All right, I'm live there. Beautiful. And let's see, am I live there as well? Let me find out. All right, let's just see. Mhm. All right, hold on a second. If when you get here, make sure you let me know that you're here. So while I am doing all of this stuff here to see what's going on. No, let's see. Why is it not showing up? Hold on. Let me see over here. It shows I'm live over there. So if you're live, let me know you're here so I can tell because it's not showing up. Oh, there it is. All right, beautiful. So hold on. Because it's not showing up. Okay, there we go. Man, oh man, jumping through some hoops this morning again. It's really funny how it's helping me to learn so much more, right? Get a sip of my coffee this morning. And I'm so excited to be here. Yesterday was so much fun having people on and interacting with each other. It just really always lights me up when I get quite a few people on and we can have a dialogue. I love it. I love it. And just so you know, I talked a little bit about in the last two videos I've done about the workshop that's coming up. And so I still don't know what the date is. I'm hoping that with between at least by Thursday, I will have a definite date of when it's going to be happening and gathering you all together to make sure that you're going to be there and start marketing it out to people because I really want to. It's going to be such a powerful workshop that I want to get as many people there as possible so that they can take advantage of it too. So I'll be relying on you to share it out with your friends too. And so let me see. I don't know where we are on time, so we're still good. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to make sure I've got all my affirmations and journal prompts all ready to go so that I can start sharing them out because that's what we're here for, right? And last night we had a rain that I wasn't expecting. I guess I should look at the weather a little more often because it was like it wasn't supposed to be till later in the week, but it came early. And that's kind of life, right? We have these expectations about when things are supposed to happen, and sometimes they come earlier than expected, and sometimes they take longer. And I know my yard is very happy. And because those who don't remember, I shared a I don't even remember what day it was I shared it, but I shared that my daughter dug these holes to plant our fig trees that we had been transporting from one place to the other in these wine barrels. And so they're happily in the ground, and I've been watering them every day. But it's like the quenching rain from the sky does so much more than just the water from the faucet, right? And so I can't wait to see how much their growth really takes off since we've had this rain. I hope it's been enough rain to really make a difference for them, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share today's affirmation. All right, so give me a second. And for those of you that are not in the Facebook group, Make Lasting Change, it still is not showing me when people make comments. And let's see, let me go over here. So I don't see anything, but if you're here, make sure that you tell me that you're here because I can't see it. And I want to make sure that I acknowledge the fact that you're here and tell you how much I appreciate it. I know you think I'm playing with my nose, but there's a bead on my nose ring there. And sometimes it pulls around to, it doesn't look quite right. So I just want to make sure it's in the right place. All right. So today's affirmation is ta-da! Each deep breath I take clears the way for magical clarity and peace. And you know, those breaths, oh, they're so life giving, right? Without that breath, we wouldn't be alive. But more so, like I've been doing this for a while, so I don't remember what I've shared. And if you're new to the group, you wouldn't have heard it anyway, unless you went back and watched all the videos, which is very unlikely because there are a lot of them. However, some people might. But the thing is that we have so many things that we can do with our breath for giving us clarity to, helping us to de-stress and to help us to just get in the present moment, to ground. There's so many things that we focus on our breath for different reasons, right? And so today we're focusing on our breath because of the way it gives us magical clarity and peace. Because remember, this has been Magic Month good morning, Lynn. Good to see you here. We have been playing with the Magic Month and just really having a good time. I've missed you too. I'm so glad you're here today. And I don't know if you're at work or not and can't participate, but hey, I'm glad that you're here. I will tell you that. But this is the last day of our focus on magic. It doesn't mean that the magic is done. It just means that it's not our focus for the month. Now, you will keep focusing on it at some respect, I hope, because remember, what we focus on, we create. So the more you focus and anticipate that magic will be in your life, the more it's going to be attracted to you. And I had something that came to my mind last night, and it was like, how we say that we're a magnet for the thoughts and the feelings that we have, and that, if you don't like what you have in your environment, check your thoughts, your feelings, and then start trying to have thoughts that do reflect who you choose to be, right? Who you decide to be. And so I was thinking, a lot of times we need a visual, right? Or we need something that helps us to recognize things. And so I was thinking, the next time you go to the store, see if you can find a magnet, or maybe you have a magnet already, right? Like I have some magnets on my refrigerator, but not so sure that they would be able to be used in this way. But, what I'm thinking is that we tend to have the idea that we're a magnet, but do we actually really believe or feel that we're a magnet? And so my thoughts were that we should, or we could, because I don't like to shoulds, right? We could put a magnet in our pocket, a magnet in our bag. Just make sure it's not around your credit cards, because that can demagnetize the credit cards. However, but have a magnet on you or in your possession. And so that's just a gentle reminder that we are a magnet, right? And that if we start noticing that there's different things that are coming at us, just like if we had our magnet out and suddenly nails started coming, right? We would know that we've got a lot of nails that we need to eliminate, right? We need to not be around the nails, right? But if we were all of a sudden we had our magnet out, and then there were these precious stones, and I don't know that that's even possible. I'm just using it as a metaphor, okay? But all of a sudden these precious stones were coming at us, then we'd say, ooh, that's the best magnet example I could have. I'm going to focus more there. And so by just putting that magnet in our pocket, it kind of helps us to see that whatever's happening around us, it's because that's what our magnet is attracted to, that what it's bringing in. And so it gives us more of a visual, a knowing that, whew, it's my vibration. If I don't like that, let me vibrate differently. Let me think different thoughts. Let me change a little bit. And that would be the perfect time when you recognize something like that to take some breaths. And because that helps change our state of being, right? So, the thing that is really important to know about breaths is that if you breathe in deeply, you breathe in into your belly. So those are the life-giving breaths. If you've ever seen a baby or a small child laying on the ground and they're breathing, you can see their belly extend and go down, or belly extend and go down. But over time, we've become chest breathers. So we're breathing in shallow breathing and it's coming into our chest. But if you breathe where it's your belly that's extending, it changes the way the breath works in your body and how it feels in your body. Because if you think about it, when somebody's hyperventilating and it's like they can't catch their breath, but you can see they're really working hard, right? And it's because it's all coming from here and it doesn't allow that breath to go into the belly. And so when you're doing chest breathing, it is you are more likely to get anxious and to get upset and to have those the fight or flight, right? Because it's the same feel. I got to get away. I got to get away. And so just by changing your breath, you change the whole physiology of your body. So if you notice you've got this magnet in your pocket and you notice there's some things going around you that are coming at you, or they're just showing up, right? That you're not really sure that that's what you want in your life, just stop, do some belly breaths. And the beautiful gift of a belly breath is if you'll count it in, like you count how much you go in, then whatever that count is, make the count out longer, like by 2 beats. So if you breathe in to a count of, like, say, that was a count of 5, then you would make sure you breathe out to a count of 7, right? But if you only breathed into 3, or maybe your breath in was a 7, just add two breaths to it as you breathe out. And that just kind of relaxes the body, gives you a chance to ground and to change your actual vibration, because that just relaxes the stress in your body exponentially. I mean, it is amazing what breath can do, right? And I don't know, Lynn, I know you're probably at work and I'm not even sure, but if you can answer, have you ever had that experience where you can take this breath and practice it a little bit? Or is this something new to you? If you've had that happen to you, just put 1 in the comments. And if it's like you haven't really dove into breath this way, put a 2. That way I can know which one. In case you said yes, it's like, okay, which one? And also, I want to know, did you get the notification that I was going live? Because I put that out, but I'm not so sure. I had somebody tell me the other day that she just happened to see that I was live. She didn't get any notification that I was live. So I'm not sure. The way they've been changing all this stuff with Facebook, I don't know. Do 2 people get it when you put out everyone? Does 1 person get it? I don't know, because it definitely says, some people. I don't know who those some people are. Oh, and before I forget, I want to tell you that I had a hypnosis client yesterday. I have done it and just now did it while you were talking. Very calm. Yes, I did get the notification. Yay, yay. So glad, so glad. ah, and I know for me, there are so many times I remind myself, whew, just take a few breaths, take a few breaths, and to just get into that peaceful place, no matter what's going on, right? All right, so now I'm going to get to the journal prompt. Hold on a second. Let me do this again. Let's see. Let's see if this does it. Still doesn't do it. All right, so it doesn't show the whole thing, but hey, that's okay. I'll tell you what it says. All right, so our journal prompt for today, and I know this is a long one, but it's important. Yes, thank you. I love that. I'm so glad. And I don't know if this is something that you've been doing for a while or not, but even if it is, it's always great to have another reminder of how important our breath is and ways to utilize it to change our day, to change our thoughts, change our vibration. Because most of the time we're just breathing because we're breathing, right? And so it's beautiful to have that little tool to know, like if you're getting a little anxious because you're about to meet somebody that you've never met before, you can do some breaths and you show up whew, so much more relaxed. Or maybe you're meeting someone from work for dinner or something, and it's like it could be a little stressful. Whatever it is, go to your breath and just play with it. Maybe, one of the things would be, sometimes driving stressful. When you get behind the wheel before you even go anywhere, do your breaths. Heck, do the breaths at the red lights and just play with it. Use it for all the amazing things it can do, right? All right, so our journal prompt for today is spend a few minutes focusing on your breath and then just write about that experience. And that by itself is enough, right? The thing is that when we can journal about how we're utilizing these, then when we look back, it can be a reminder of, oh, I haven't thought about that. Or maybe, oh, look, that's what was bothering me then. Heck, that's never been an issue since then. It's a beautiful thing to be able to look back, but then also take it further. How did paying attention to your breath bring a sense of clarity or peace? I mean, was it that you were counting your breaths? Was it just that you were doing it? Where were you? I mean, what insights that come to you from this beautiful, simple practice? That's the end of it, the simple practice. Sometimes I forget that it only allows me to put so much information in there. So after today, you've got your magnet in your pocket, right? And it's a reminder, it's an anchor that helps you see that all the things that are happening around you are within your scope of what you're seeing, in your little lens that you see the world in, right? And if you don't like that, then it's like the breathing. Oh, okay, I got that. But if you don't like what's showing up, then that's your anchor, your reminder that change your focus, change your lens, change your breath, and make things different, right? Because it's all within our power if we choose to see that, if we choose to make changes. And like I was reminded this morning when I was listening to one of the people I follow on YouTube, and it's like you hear things all the time, and a lot of times it's like with me speaking to you here, maybe these are things you do all the time, but this is a gentle, quick reminder of, ooh, let me go back to focusing on that. And so it doesn't mean that you've never done it before. It just means that it's a reminder, God, the universe said, well, this is what you need for today, and go watch this. And so I find that that happens to me so often, right? And so this morning, it's like I was reminded that when we're focused on things and things are coming to us, right? That it is a reminder of wanting to change, wanting to choose a different path. And, and I already had this affirmation and journal prompt scheduled. I had already created it and set it up. And then this person is talking about that. And it was like, wow, exactly what I needed to hear as I'm about to start this live. And so it's a beautiful thing that, God, the universe, pops in and says, watch this. Because, I scrolled through a few of them, and then it was like, that's the one I want to listen to this morning. And it was exactly what I needed, because that's what I was just about to talk about. And so it's a beautiful thing. And so I'm glad that you're here. And then I'm glad you're able to participate like this. And obviously, you are the one that needed this message first thing this morning. And so, those of you that are watching the replay, I'm so glad that you're here. Make sure you put hashtag replay and enjoy, this lesson, this affirmation, this journal prompt. Good morning, Erlyn. Great to have you here this morning. I've been talking about our breath and being a magnet in the world. And so I'll just recap so that you don't have to go watch the whole thing. But our affirmation, I'm going to share it again. Our affirmation is each deep breath I take clears the way for magical clarity and peace. And remember, put that on your sticky note, your index card, on your mirror with a chalk marker. Put it as the screensaver on your phone. Put it on a piece of paper, stick it on the fridge. I don't care. Use that magnet on the fridge to hold something up that really inspires you, right? And so we've talked a little bit about how breath is such an amazing tool and gift that we have in life. And so, yes, definitely. So glad that you were able to get here this morning, Erlyn. And so the thing is, like I was sharing about the magnet, and the take one of those magnets from your fridge, or heck, go buy a magnet, stick it in your pocket, stick it in your bag, and carry it around with you so that you can actually, it's just really a metaphor. It's just a way to recognize that magnets attract things. And so you've got the magnet in your pocket as a reminder that all the things, good morning, Laura. All the things that are coming to you in your life are because you are a magnet. You're that magnet that you've got in your pocket. And if you don't like the things that are, I'm so glad to have you here too. If you don't like the things that are showing up in your life, it's time to adjust your magnet, to adjust what you're focusing on and what you're doing. And so that takes us back to that breath. Because when we use our breath in this profound way to change our physiology, then it changes our entire what we're vibrating out and how we're feeling inside. And so today is the last day of April, and this has been the magic month. And I would love to hear, there's a few more people on here. Lynn was here, and then now Erlyn and Laura. And I'd love to know, how have you been seeing the evidence of magic in your month? And remember, it's what we focus on, we attract. And just like the metaphor that I give all the time about my car, when I first bought the Prius, I had never really saw them on the road at all. Once I bought them, I saw them everywhere. I even came out of the grocery store, and the whole row where I was parked was Prius. And the car I had previously was a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a Hemi. Now, I mean, mega power, right? And it was it was a big adjustment, really, to switch to the other car. But I bring this up because when I had the Jeep, what did I see when I went out in the grocery store? I saw all the Jeeps. And so the Priuses were still there. I just didn't see them. I saw the Jeeps because that's what I focused on. That's what I drove. And so it's the same with our life. When we have something in our radar, in our lens of the world, right? That's what we are attracting. That's what we notice. That's what we see more of. And so I invite you, sorry, I got a hair getting in my eye. I invite you to put that magnet in your pocket just as a reminder that, oh, what am I attracting? Let me redirect my magnet, myself, my thoughts, my feelings, my actions. Let me redirect them so that the things that are coming to me are more of what I want, right? And so it's a beautiful thing to realize that you can adjust your magnet, your physiology, just like that. And the easiest way to start the adjustment is to take those breaths. And so, like I said earlier, before you get in the car to go somewhere, take your breaths. And the trick of the breaths, and I know I'm repeating myself, but it bears repeating. However, when you take your breaths, like you breathe in, however many counts you get in, whether it's 5, it's 6, it's 7, whatever, add 2 as you exhale so that your out breath is longer than your in breath. And what that does is it calms the body down, calms the mind down. It actually makes you more peaceful and calm. And I know Lynn was practicing with me earlier, and she said that it definitely made a difference for her. And so I invite you to practice as well, to do that where you count in how many breaths you make. And I like to do like the 5-7 breaths. And so it's make sure I count in for 5. But the thing is some people have a longer torso. They have a bigger lung capacity than maybe I do. And so that might be a shallow breath for them. So we're breathing into our belly, remember, not our chest, because the chest breathing is a more of a shallow breathing, and it actually is more conducive to creating stress and anxiety and panic attacks. And it's just like I reminded earlier that when you see someone who's having a panic attack, they can't breathe. It's like, and hyperventilating, right? And that's the stress type breath. And so even if you're having a panic attack or you're under stress, if you can find a way, and it's not always easy, but if you can find a way to just breathe differently, it will help it to subside, right? And so use the tools that you have. It's the breath. The breath is an amazing tool to do all these different things. And so I invite you to play with this breath and just see how it changes how you feel. So, if you're just sitting and doing nothing and you're about to do something, then do some shallow breath and see, does it make you feel like you can do it? Or does it make it feel anxious that it's not going to work, that it's not going to go well? Because usually that's what it creates. If you're doing your shallow breathing and you're about to start something that you're not real comfortable with, it's going to make you feel more anxious and more uncomfortable. But if you can just start taking some slow breaths, breathing in, you will be amazed at how it feels. And a lot of you know all of this. It's a gentle reminder to change the focus today, that this is obviously something that you really need. And that's why you're here this morning, that to focus on your breathing today. And I would love to see and hear how this works for you. So go back into the group and make a post today. The magic of your breath. Oh, I can't wait to hear how playing with this today has actually helped, right? And then to our journal prompt, spend a few minutes focusing on that breath and write about it. Use your journal to expand onto the thoughts a little bit more, and just think about it as you're writing about this. Think about how it feels to have the magnet in your pocket, recognizing that it's you are the magnet. that's not the magnet that changes everything. It's you. And so you're magnetically drawing things to you. So the magnet in your pocket is just to help you be more aware of how magnetic your body is and how you're bringing things to you that are either supporting you or they're not. And you get to decide which things you want to attract into your life by creating those breaths, the moments, right? Magical moments start right here. And this is the end of the magical month. It just means that it's the end of our deliberate focus in the group, but continue to have that focus in your life. That magnet in your pocket, that's attracting magic to you. So just think of it as your magic magnet. And as it's in your pocket, you're carrying it around with you, you're going to see more magic show up than you would ever have even imagined possible. And I know I have had some amazing magic that's happened for me this month. And so it's been fun to explore and to share with you guys. And so I don't know yet what will be going on for next month. This is the first month that I've done it this way. I usually just get up and whatever feels like the right thing to talk about, that's what I talk about. And so I'll start that again tomorrow for the 1st of May. I still can't believe it's May 1st tomorrow. And I mean, just think about it, how quickly it feels like we just had the new year. And now here we are in May. And if we can harness the power of all the things that we can do and create, just think about next month, the month after, if you're not happy with where your life is and the way it's moving, that's not just necessarily where you're at now, but where you feel it moving to, then it's the perfect time to pivot, to change direction, to change your thoughts, to go in the direction that you want, right? The direction you've decided that you want to have. And remember, there's a difference between a choice and a decision. A choice is I've got A and I've got B, and I can choose which one I want, right? And then the decision is almost like, remember the old saying, so wild, Vicki, this month has been magical for me too. It's awesome to look through the lens of magic and open up. Hold on, let me see what all this says. It's awesome to look through the lens of magic and opening up to how much the universe is willing to play and give. Helps me have faith in life. Oh, yes. And Laura and I had a podcast interview. Hell, Laura, I've totally lost track. I think it was yesterday. But it was amazing, and I can't wait to share it out. And she and I've got some things that we've got cooking in the back seat, in the back office, in the lab that we're going to be sharing out. And so I can't wait for us to have our conversation. Yes, it was yesterday. I'm telling you, time is just like this illusionary thing. It's like from one day to the next. I think, wait a minute, was that yesterday? Was that last week? I don't know. It doesn't really matter, right? Hello, Mary. It's nice to have you here. And I'm telling you, I have been blown away with the April month of magic. And so I'm going to keep this magical magnet in my pocket so that I will still have all this magic coming at me, coming for me, to me. And so I invite you to do the same, right? So like I said, with the journal prompt, make sure you're journaling it. And there are some people in the group that have a journal just for our journal, our affirmations and journal prompts that we share here. And then, some people might just have a notebook but put it somewhere. So I like to say, put the date at the top, put the affirmation and the journal prompt so that when you come back and you look, you can say, that was the affirmation that we talked about. That's the journal prompt. And here's what I had. And the reason is because when we are changing and growing and becoming and deciding all these things together. Oh, let me get back before I got distracted. The difference between a choice is, see, there we go. A choice is we have an A and we have a B and we can choose between the two. And a decision is that it's kind of like burn the boats kind of thing. It's like I've made a decision that no matter what, this is what I'm going to do. And so it's like yesterday I shared that if somebody wants to learn a language, so like I like in the lab, yes. I like the sign language, right? I think it's a beautiful thing. And I get fascinated when I see people using sign language. And I've taken a few classes. I am not proficient at it, and I don't keep track with it enough that I actually can converse with an adult, right? I can do some with a kid, but it's a very different animal to talk to someone that's an adult, right? And so for me, I do it because I just want to know. And so I'm sporadic at it. I do a little bit here and then I lose interest and then I go do something else and then I come back to it. But if someone is wanting to learn sign language because suddenly they discovered that they have a niece that's deaf, or they start dating someone and this person's deaf, there's a whole different level of wanting to learn, right? It is like, I've got to learn this because I need it to communicate. So it's kind of like that when we make a decision in anything that we do. If we make a choice, then it's like, I'll keep doing it as long as it's comfortable. If it starts getting me too far out of my comfort zone, I don't know that I'll keep doing it. And if I have a hard time communicating with that person, I don't know that they're probably not the right person. It's big, right? It's very easy to switch gears, right? But if there's something that you really, really want in your life and you make a decision, then you're going to keep going, burn the boats, The only way is through. And so I liken that too to like wanting to get fit, right? So you want to get fit, and I'm not speaking from experience because that is not where I'm at right this moment. I want to tone up a little bit, but I'm not in the decision place. I'm in the choice place where it's like some days I will, some days I won't. I'm good with that, right? And I know that. But if I had made the decision, that means I am going to do this every single day. And I know it's going to hurt like hell. I'm going to be sore as shit. I'm going to be, but I'm going to keep going, right? And not to say I won't be there, because I kind of feel myself getting there and doing things here and there, but I'm still sporadic at it. I mean, I do some movement every day, right? But am I gung ho to get fit? No. I want to be mobile. I want to be able to get up off the floor. I want the things that I want. It's not really a fitness thing, right? It's a mobility thing. And so I'm just saying that sometimes when you make a decision, it can get uncomfortable. But if you've made the decision, you'll keep going. And so I just wanted to share that there's two different things, and either one is fine. It's just knowing that, once you've made a decision, you're all in. And when you've made a choice, it's like, So I hope you see the difference and you can relate to what I'm talking about. But back to the journal prompt, and the reason that I was sharing that, I swear I'm all over the place this morning. My ADD, I guess, is showing up for sure. And I don't even know that I have ADD. It just feels like it in the moment because my thoughts are all over the place. But I get excited about what I'm talking about, right? So your journal prompt. Make sure you put your date at the top, put the affirmation and the journal prompt, because what you want to do is you want to be able to come back and look at it later and see where you were in your life and how things have changed. So if you had made a decision that this was the thing that you were going to do, then, it would be a different journal than if you had made the choice that this is what you were going to do. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head. I don't know about in yours. And so the really cool thing is that when we make little small micro wins in our life, and we want to be grateful and recognize those, right? But as we're doing that, it's like we make a change today. Tomorrow, that's our new normal. So then we make another change. That's our new normal. And so we lose track of how far we've come because every day feels like that's our normal. Do you understand? Put yes in the comments if you understand. And so the thing is that as we're making these adjustments, it's amazing how we can change 1% every day. We change exponentially over time, and we don't even notice it. And so when you look back at today, like if you go a year out, right, and you look back at what you were journaling about today, when it is, what was the experience of focusing on your breath? What did you pay attention to? How did it give you clarity and peace? What insights emerged from this simple practice, right? Then you're going to see, holy moly, how much different your thought patterns are now when it's a year later, right? And so all of this is just a way to a measuring stick, basically, of where you're at, an idea that you can come back and look at and see the exponential growth that you've had in your life. And there will be, I promise you, if you do these affirmations and journal prompts every single day, you are going to be blown away with all the things that show up. And remember, we've been doing our magic month, and I have been blown away as I was focused on magic. So I invite you to continue to focus and have your magnet, and that's in your pocket, drawing magic to you. And I can't wait to hear all the things that have shown up for you in the month. So go into the group and share a post about what all you've seen in your life. Or maybe, you don't want to share that. That's okay. Just put, I had an amazing magic month. And just be putting something in there so that everybody sees. And the more people see you doing something, the more they're willing to step out and acknowledge it as well. And remember, when we write something down, it's great. When we speak it out, it is so much more powerful. We've taken ownership of it. We've got that decision. We've got that choice where we are all in, right? So you decide, you choose what works for you, but share, please share. Now I have to hop off here. I've got a client due in just a moment. But I just want to say I am so, so excited and glad that you're here today. And I hope you'll be able to be here tomorrow, because I'll be here again May 1st. Can't believe it. May 1st. I'll be here at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow as well. And I can't wait to share whatever the affirmation and journal prompt is, because right now I have no idea. All right. So can you add the rest of the journal prompt? It will not let me. The rest of it is it is emerged from this simple practice. It's like, if I share it, it goes away. The whole thing goes away. It would not let me share it. So it is, how did paying attention to your breathing make a sense of clarity or peace? What insights emerge from this simple practice? That's what it is. I hope that helps, Lynn. All right. So I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. Mwah.